Think about this for a second. There's this invisible war constantly being fought, not with guns, but over data, our nation's most sensitive information. So today we're going to dive deep into, well, the really fascinating journey of U.S. cybersecurity standards. Our mission really is to unpack how we got from, almost nothing to these complex frameworks like CMMC, that's the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. We'll get into why it's so vital and what's coming next. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Picture the early 1900s. The U.S. is booming industrially, right? They needed basic consistency, like a pound had to be a pound. That's why the National Bureau of Standards, the NBS, was set up back in 1901. Fast forward to 1951. The NBS unveils SCAC. It's one of the very first toward-programmed computers. That's them stepping into the digital age. But here's where it gets really interesting for us. Their work on the data encryption standard DES in 1977, that was truly groundbreaking for actually securing digital stuff.
Yeah, and what's so remarkable there is how that core idea, establishing trust and consistency, it just moved from physical things like weights and measures right into the abstract world of digital bytes. That early credibility they built, it was absolutely foundational. It sort of allowed us to even start thinking about secure digital communication.
Exactly. Building right on that, the NBS became NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, in 1988, a broader mission, fostering innovation. Then the 90s hit, and we get the NIST Special Publication 800 series, think SP 812 and 95. That really shifted things from just patching problems ad hoc to systematic risk management. By 2002, things were heating up. Cyber threats were clearly escalating. So Congress steps in and passes FISMA, the Federal Information Security Management Act. And this made NIST's guidance, especially the risk management framework, the ARMF, and those SP 853 controls, well, it made them law for federal agencies.
Mm-hmm. And connecting that dot, FISMA was a huge turning point. It really was. It took cybersecurity from being like good advice you could follow to something legally required, a statutory requirement. Agencies were suddenly forced, really, to adopt a structured, risk-based approach. That fundamentally changed federal IT security.
Right. But even with these federal rules, there was this gaping hole, the Defense Industrial Base, the DIB, all those contractors. So 2015, the DoD rolls out NIST SP 800-171. It basically pushed 110 security controls for CUI that's controlled unclassified information down to the contractors.
Yeah.
Here was the kicker, though. SP 800-171 relied on self-attestation. Basically, companies just had to say they were compliant. And we saw how well that worked, didn't we? The F-35 breach. Critical designs reportedly swiped from small subcontractors. The honor system just wasn't cutting it. That's also why they added that 72-hour breach reporting rule, trying to get some visibility.
Yeah, and it really begs the question, why did self-attestation fail so badly? Well, it created this classic market failure scenario. The company is doing the right thing. They faced higher costs. Others could just cut corners, save money, and, well, the whole supply chain was left wide open, dangerously exposed. It was kind of a predictable outcome, honestly.
So the DoD had to react. In 2020, they launched CMMC 1.0. The message couldn't be clearer. Cybersecurity is national security. And they mandated third-party checks across 5 different levels. But, it hit roadblocks. Heavy criticism about complexity, about cost, especially hitting small businesses really hard.
Right. It was maybe a bit too much, too fast.
Exactly. So learning from that, CMMC 2.0 shows up in 2021. Much more streamlined, only 3 levels this time. And they realigned the requirements directly back to the NIST standards we talked about. They also brought back self-attestation, but only for some level 2 contracts, a sort of bifurcated approach. But, and this is the crucial part, it's now backed by the False Claims Act. That means executives can be held personally liable if they falsely attest to compliance.
And that's the fascinating bit, isn't it? That pragmatic evolution. CMMC 2.0 tries to balance the need for real security with, practical reality. And using the False Claims Act, that adds serious teeth, real consequences for just ticking boxes on paper, which was the problem before. It aims to actually change behavior at the top.
Okay, so where are we now? Today is September 1st, 2025. We know CMMC 2.0 implementation is set to start rolling into contracts, probably Q4 2025, maybe early 2026. It's happening through formal rulemaking. And looking ahead, expect CMMC to keep evolving. We'll likely see integration of things like AI risk management, post-quantum cryptography, zero trust principles. It has to keep up.
Absolutely. It's a moving target.
So we've really traced this incredible path, haven't we? From basic physical standards way back when to this complex, ever-shifting CMMC framework today. It really shows the constant effort needed to protect vital information.
And, looking at the bigger picture, CMMC isn't just a domestic thing anymore. It's really setting a kind of global benchmark for supply chain security. Other countries are watching.
That's a great point. This whole evolution really highlights a key truth. Cybersecurity isn't a one-and-done deal. It's dynamic. It's absolutely non-negotiable for national security. So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe something for you to think about is, how are you making sure your own digital world, your information, is tough enough for whatever threats are coming tomorrow? Because they are coming.